Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It's Nigel once again, and this is going to be another tier list. So, last week we looked at the various logos from the Elimination Chamber event itself, but as I mentioned before, the Elimination Chamber wasn't always at the Elimination Chamber event before previously. Well, first of all, it kind of bounced all over the place before settling on New Year's Revolution, but then it also settled on No Way Out. So, because No Way Out's also the pretty lengthy home of the Elimination Chamber, and because I've already done tier list for Survivor Series and SummerSlam, I figured, you know what, why not? Let's do a No Way Out tier list. So we got all the No Way Out logos slash like posters, there's kind of things going on, but then we also have our tiers. So in the top tier we have Escaped, meaning it's a really good, really solid, really awesome logo. And in some cases the logos do look kind of similar, but I'd like the posters will help it out a little bit. Hey, give it that little last minute boost, if you will. But then we have A tier, which is still really good. Maybe not top tier, but still really solid. Then the B tier is the middle ground. Not great, but certainly not bad. But really good. But C tier is very meh, very eh. And one or two things keep me from the bottom. And then the bottom is no escape, meaning terrible logo. It does not escape. Hey, before we did our Elimination Chamber logos tier list, is the top tier was empty. Will that be the case here? Let's find out. First logo we have is No Way Out of Texas in Your House. Man, that's a mouthful of a name, but this is technically the first No Way Out event, and I know that because I googled it. But a No Way Out of Texas in Your House, whether you really want to count it as in specifically saying No Way Out, just like the No Way Out name. But because it's listed as that on the wiki, and because it has the words No Way Out in it, I figured I might as well throw it in. And we don't have a whole lot of logos anyway, so that's all right. But this first one does look pretty good with like the lettering kind of in that flame effect and the red, and then Kane with the mask and all scary, the other eye like secluded in the darkness. Ooh, just good stuff. Really good stuff, in fact, so much so that, you know what, we're starting off strong. We're going top tier with this one and has escaped, even though it's not really the point of the Elimination Chamber, but or the point is to be the last person standing, but it fits the theme here. So this one has escaped, so it's really good stuff. But then next up is 2000, No Way Out 2000, and known for that iconic Hell in a Cell match between that man right there, Triple H, Paul Triple H Levesque, which I know why, but it is kind of jarring, as well as Cactus Jack. But I mean, and by that I mean Cactus Jack was the other person in the match. Anyway, but look at the logo here. It's mostly just like stuff going on in the background. Triple H, and I believe that's supposed to be Austin. It's kind of tricky to tell. And then Triple H striking the pose on there. Otherwise, and then let the game begin. And with the golden stuff, gold slash like yellow. Otherwise, not a whole lot going on. So this one, I'll at least put it in B. Not a whole lot going on, but I think it's okay. Then next up is No Way Out 2001 with Kurt Angle. In the center or in the ring, just in this pose, with the spotlight and then the crowd behind him. It does kind of save the logo, and I guess they are using the same logo. It's not like this one. This time it's got a logo and the T. I think that's supposed to be like a sword or a knife or something like that. I think that's what they're going with that. But I do like how this one's top down, like layer, and then the ways in between there. But then this one, it's off to the side, so there's no way out. I think between these two, I do prefer this one a little bit more, and the red there I think is really nice, really nice touch. But otherwise, it's just okay. So this one I will put in B. But then next up is No Way Out 2002 with the road sign. And logo for No Way Out, and then RVD striking his own pose. Man, a lot of poses. You're gonna see a lot of poses with these logos on here. But this one I'm not really digging. I like the stylized lettering and font there, or like how stylized there, like the flames and stuff. But this road sign. So I'm not really feeling this one. It's not absolutely horrid, but I'm not really feeling it. So, this one's gonna go in C. It's gonna go in C tier for me. Excuse me. But then next up is No Way Out 2003 with Scott Steiner, and I think this is the one where he had that just absolutely classic World Heavyweight Championship match with Triple H. It was really good and really really legendary. Anyway, hey, as for the logo, the background is just Scott Steiner hitting the pose. But we have a new style for the No Way Out logo, and this is kind of the style that would go on to represent the No Way Out logo. The whole lettering wrapped in the chains, and then the O being the lock. That is actually a pretty cool idea. I do like that. Otherwise, not a super whole lot going on, but the creative logo I think puts it above this one. So for me, this one's gonna go in B as well. They'll go in B there. But then next up is No Way Out 2004, just a picture of Eddie smiling, and then the No Way Out logo with the red, and like the red outline. It is kind of bare bones. Admittedly, this one is as well, but at least this one, Scott Steiner's hitting his pose, the flexing pose. I was getting ready to do some math, of course, and pick splinters out of people's fat asses. But as for this one, not really a whole lot going on. Mostly just Eddie sitting in there, just smiling. That's about it. Sometimes less is more, but sometimes less is less, unfortunately. And this one I'm not really big on. So this one, I think I'm unfortunately, it's not absolutely horrid, but I'm going to put it in C. But then next up is No Way Out 2005. I have this logo. This one's interesting. There's almost a little too much going on. And I know, you may be like, some of you may be confused, like, Nigel, you said this one's a little too much going on, but then you say this one's not enough going on. Like, which one is it? Make up your mind. But, like, with this one, is kind of, bare bones, not really a whole lot going on, just Eddie smiling and then the logo. But then this one is absolutely crazy. You got, I think, supposed to be, like, ring ropes, but then, like, barbed wire going throughout, and it's in, like, a swirling pattern, and the barbed wire replaces the chains surrounding it. It still has, like, the padlock for the O and everything, but all that in that cage surrounding all that, and this was before the Elimination Chamber became where No Way Out became the home of the Elimination Chamber. But there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. It's crazy, but it's also kind of cool. Well, so you know what? Props to the creativity. There's quite a bit going on, but props to creativity. I don't quite know if it's top tier, but I'm at least gonna put it in A. But then next up is 2006. So kind of in a similar vein to like 2003, where it would be almost bare bones, except the gold color pattern, which I think is kind of cool, kind of nice. But also Randy hitting his dynamic pose, the old school pose, not quite the pose he hits nowadays, or as BDE has labeled it, the T-Rex. But this one I think is still pretty. Hey, all right, shout out to BDE. And shout out to Vibe, of course, but this one I think it's okay. So this one I'll at least put in B. Definitely not top tier, but it's definitely not C, so I'll at least put it in B. But then next up is No Way Out 2007. I do like the kind of jail effect we have going on, and then the chains. And then the chains and the padlock are back. Well, technically they were back with this one, but they're back. And then I do like how that fits with the jail cell and everything. I think that's pretty cool. And then the glowing effect showing like the fire effect for the No Way Out logo. So I think that's pretty cool. Well, not quite sure if it's in the upper tiers, but I think I at least want to put in B. But then next up is No Way Out 2008. I'm trying so hard not to let my bias seep in, and but it is tricky because a couple things surrounding it. For starters, this was one of the first pay-per-view events I watched. I got it for my 8th birthday, and I watched the absolute crap out of it. It's where I know it like front to back, and then also B, he he was one of my first wrestling reviews on the channel when I started doing wrestling reviews back in 2022. But the other thing is that I used to have the WWE magazine. Bring back WWE magazine, WWE. I used to have the WWE magazine issue with where they showed like a lot of the behind the scenes of this exact poster. Or I believe this was the issue that came out right after No Way Out 2008. That had this exact poster and showed like Jeff Hardy posing and everything. With it and stuff. It was just so cool, I remember. So I'm trying not to let my nostalgia cloud it. But you know what? It's still a really solid logo. Like if you think about it, you got the Elimination Chamber in the background, but then Jeff Hardy, he trying to breathe underwater. Of course, Jeff Hardy, it makes sense. He's a daredevil, and Jeff Hardy was at this event where he competed in the Elimination Chamber match. But him locked him in chains like he's Harry Houdini, and then the logo and how the water effects going through there. Oh, it's really good. It is really solid. You know what? This one is going to escape as well because this one is really, really cool. And again, and that's not like without bias, it's probably one of the coolest things ever. And admittedly, like it fits Jeff Hardy. It fits the kind of vibe of No Way Out. It's really good stuff. Just from a logo standpoint, it's really good stuff. But then next up is No Way Out 2009. And this one's pretty cool. Showing like the chamber in the background, and thankfully no water this time around. I'm sure IGN would be very happy about that. But then it's still got the lettering and the chain effects. Like the lettering in white this time around, which between the white and the black lettering, I think I do lean a bit towards the black lettering, and but this one still looks okay, and then you got the Elimination Chamber in the background for this one. So this one, and I think this one I'll at least put in B. Don't quite like it as much as the other ones, but I think it's still okay. And then last, certainly not least, is the 2012 logo. Now, on one hand, and this is a pretty cool poster, but on the other hand, if you put any amount of thought into it, this is kind of graphic. Like AJ Lee holding down Daniel Bryan, he's the one tied up normally, and it's like a play on like the old school like Western tropes where like the girl's tied on the train tracks and the hero's got to save her from there, which I've never actually seen in an actual movie. I've seen it parodied a bunch in like other stuff, such as like Looney Tunes or the one Who Framed Roger Rabbit short or that they did it where he's at where he's on the roller coaster and everything. But I've never actually seen it legitimately in a movie like this exact trope where the person's tied up. If it has appeared in a movie, if it's not a movie trope, then let me know. But yeah, I've never seen it appear in an actual movie. But I've seen it appear in parodies of like the Old West and stuff, or like just heroes in general. But nevertheless, I digress. But even though it's graphic, it is still pretty cool. Little pretty interesting visual. And it's got the new lettering for No Way Out, kind of in that Western style, which I do think fits. And I do like the sepia filter as well. I think that's a really nice touch. So this one is also pretty cool. Well, don't quite know if it's escape tier, but it definitely is at least an A tier, or something that I really like. But there you have it. So that's gonna do it for the logos. So to recap, in escape tier we have No Way Out of Texas, In Your House, then 2008 logo, and then A tier we have 2005, 2012, and B tier we have 2000, 2001, 2003, 2006, 2007, and 2009, and C tier we have 2002 and 2004, and and none of he's we're in the bottom tier. None of these were in the no escape tier. So all these escaped to an extent, even though again that's not the purpose of the Elimination Chamber. But nevertheless, that's going to do it for this review. Not review. I'm sorry. That's going to do it for this tier list. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I do have a review coming out tomorrow for the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2. So we're going to do that and of course continue our Superman reviews. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video so you can see as soon as it drops, and let me know in the comments what your favorite No Way Out tier. So while checking the wiki to see all the events and the logos, I did see a little tidbit saying there's a chance that the No Way Out event might be coming back. So, do you guys want to see the No Way Out event come back, heck, in return? And where do you think it would place on the card if it did, or like within the pay-per-view schedule, that is, or would it be a TV special? For me, I think, because this is kind of the tradition with like the old names are revived, it's probably going to go to NXT, but I don't mind that at all. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that concept. Maybe like the main event's like a steel cage match or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. Or even a Hell in a Cell match, or perhaps even an Elimination Chamber match, like the NXT. I think the NXT talent, they're ready for an Elimination Chamber match. Why not give them one? But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.